My name is Alina. I wasn't supposed to see that file. It was just sitting there, on my desk. No label, no name. Just one word written on top. Confidential. At first, I ignored it. I thought it belonged to someone else. But something felt off. I don't know why, but I opened it. I wish I didn't. Inside, there were papers, old ones, reports, photos, and one page that made me stop. It was a missing person report. A man disappeared years ago. No updates, no closure, just gone. I looked closer, read the name again, slowly, because it felt familiar, too familiar. Then I saw the photo, and my hands went still, because I knew that face. Not clearly, not completely, but enough to feel it, like a memory I couldn't reach. I flipped the page, looking for more, and that's when I noticed something else. At the bottom, in small letters, there was a note. Case closed by order. No reason, no explanation, just closed. My chest tightened, because cases like this don't just close, not like that. And in that moment, I realized something. This wasn't just a file. This was something someone didn't want opened. I should have left it, closed the file, put it back where it was. But I didn't. I kept reading. The report was short, too short. No details about what happened, no suspects, no explanation, just a date and a location. I picked up my phone, typed the address. It wasn't far, just a few blocks away. That made it worse. How did something like this happen so close, and I never heard about it? I flipped through the papers again, looking for anything I missed. Then I saw it, a second photo, different from the first one, blurred, taken from a distance. The same man, standing outside a building. I looked closer. My breath slowed, because I recognized that place. I'd been there before, many times. It was an old office building, half empty. No one really paid attention to it. I zoomed in on the photo. There was something written on the wall behind him, faded, hard to read, but I could make out a few letters. L-A-R. I frowned. That didn't make sense. Then suddenly, it did, because that building had a name. Lark Tower. My chest tightened, because that's where I work. I looked back at the file, then at the photo again, then back at the file, slowly, trying to understand. This wasn't just some random case anymore. This was connected to my job, to my daily life, and maybe to me. The next day, I went to work early, earlier than usual. The building felt different, quieter, almost empty. I stood in the lobby for a moment, looking around. Nothing looked strange. Same walls, same lights, same people passing by. But now it didn't feel normal. I walked toward the back corridor, the one most people don't use, the one in the photo. My steps slowed. I didn't know what I was expecting, but I kept going. The hallway was narrow, dim. The lights flickered slightly. I reached the spot, the exact place from the picture. I looked at the wall. There it was. Faded letters, almost gone, but still there. Lark. My chest tightened. This was it. This was where he stood, years ago. I stepped closer, touched the wall lightly. Cold. Old, like it hadn't changed in years. Then I heard something. Footsteps. Behind me. Slow. Not rushing. I turned quickly. A man was standing at the end of the hallway, watching me. I didn't recognize him. He didn't look away, didn't say anything, just stood there. For a second, neither of us moved. Then he spoke. "You shouldn't be here." His voice was calm, too calm. My heart started beating faster. "I work here," I said. He nodded slightly. "I know." That made it worse, because it meant he knew who I was, and I had no idea who he was. I stepped back, just a little. "What is this place?" I asked. He didn't answer, just looked at me, then said, "Some things are better left alone." And in that moment, I understood something. This wasn't just an old case anymore. This was something that was still being watched. I should have stopped, walked away, forgot the file, but I didn't. That warning, it stayed in my head, and instead of scaring me, it made me curious. That same evening, I went back. The building was quieter now, almost empty. I walked straight to that hallway, faster this time, like I already knew the way. I looked around. No one, at least not this time. I stepped closer to the wall again, the faded word, Lark. I ran my fingers over it, slowly, and that's when I felt it. Something uneven, a small gap. I pressed it, nothing. Then again, harder. A soft click. My heart stopped for a second. Part of the wall shifted slightly, not enough to notice unless you were looking for it. I pulled it open, just a little. Inside, there was a space, hidden, dark. I reached in carefully. My fingers touched paper. I pulled it out, an old envelope, dusty, sealed. No name, no date, just one mark on it, a symbol. Simple, but strange. A circle with a line through it. I stared at it. Something about it felt familiar, but I couldn't place it. Not yet. Then, footsteps again. Closer this time. I froze, the envelope still in my hand, because this time, whoever was coming wasn't walking slowly. I didn't wait. I pushed the panel back quickly, turned, and walked fast. Not running, just fast enough to not look suspicious. My heart was racing. The footsteps stopped, somewhere behind me. I didn't look back, not even once. I went straight outside. Cold air hit my face. I exhaled. Finally. But my hands were still shaking. I looked down. The envelope was still there, tight in my grip. I walked a little further, found a quiet corner. Then slowly, I opened it. Inside, there were photos, old ones, faded at the edges. I pulled the first one out, the same man from the file, standing in that hallway. But this time, he wasn't alone. There was someone else with him, a woman. Her face turned slightly away. I moved to the next photo, closer, clearer. My breath stopped, because I recognized her, not from memory, from somewhere else, something I've seen before. I dropped the photo slightly. My mind started racing. I pulled out the last thing in the envelope, a small paper, folded. I opened it, just one line written inside. "If anything happens to me." I paused, then read the rest. "Tell Alina the truth." My hands went cold. My name, right there, on a note that was written years ago. And in that moment, everything changed, because this wasn't just connected to me anymore. This was meant for me. I went home, locked the door, sat down. The photos were still in my hand. I placed them on the table, slowly, carefully, Like they might change if I moved too fast. That woman, I had seen her before. I knew it. I just didn't know where. I picked up my phone, started searching. Old pictures, old messages, anything. Then, I found it. A photo from years ago, hidden deep in my gallery. I opened it, and my chest tightened. It was her, same face, same eyes, just younger, standing next to me, smiling. My fingers trembled slightly, because I remembered now. Her name was Sarah. She used to work with my mother. I met her a few times as a child. She was kind, quiet. Then one day, she just disappeared. No one talked about it. No one explained. I looked back at the photo from the envelope, then at the one on my phone. Same woman, no doubt, which meant that man in the file was connected to her and somehow to me. I picked up the note again. If anything happens to me, tell Alina the truth. My name, written by someone who knew me years ago, but I had never heard anything, not from my mother, not from anyone, which meant only one thing. The truth wasn't lost. It was hidden, on purpose, and now I was the one who found it. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. There was only one person who might know something. My mother. The next morning, I went to her house. No call, no warning. She opened the door, smiled at first, then saw my face. "What happened?" she asked. I didn't answer. I walked in, placed the photo on the table. Sarah, standing next to that man. My mother froze. Just for a second, but I saw it. "You know her," I said. It wasn't a question. She looked at me, then at the photo again. Her hands moved slowly, like she didn't want to touch it. "Where did you get this?" she asked. Her voice was quiet, too careful. "That doesn't matter," I said. "Why is my name on this?" Silence. Heavy. She sat down, took a breath. "I hoped you would never find out," she said. My chest tightened. "Find out what?" She looked at me, eyes tired, full of something I couldn't read. "That man," she said slowly, "was your father." Everything went quiet. "No," I said immediately. "That's not possible." She didn't argue, didn't explain right away, just nodded slightly. "He disappeared," she continued, "because he was trying to expose something." My mind was racing. "The company," she added. My heart dropped. Lark Tower wasn't always what it is now. I stepped back, trying to process it. "Sarah helped him," she said. "They were close to finding the truth." "And then?" I asked, my voice barely steady. She looked away. "They both disappeared." Silence filled the room. And suddenly, everything made sense. The file, the warning, the hidden envelope, the note. It wasn't random. It was never random. This wasn't just a story I found. This was my story, and the truth was still buried somewhere inside that building. I didn't go back to work that day, or the next. I stayed home, thinking, replaying everything. The file, the man in the hallway, the envelope, my father. It didn't feel real, but it was. Every part of it. After a few days, I went back, stood outside Lark Tower, looking up. Same building, same walls. But now, I knew what was hidden inside. Not just secrets, truth, danger, and something unfinished. I walked in, slow, careful. People moved around me, normal, like nothing had ever happened there. But I knew better. I reached the hallway again, the same one, the faded words still there. Lark. I stood there for a moment. Then I took a step closer. Not afraid this time, not confused, just certain. Because this wasn't just about the past anymore. It was about what I do next. I looked at the wall, then at the place where I found the envelope. Empty now, but not meaningless, because someone left that for me, on purpose, which means they wanted me to continue. I took a deep breath and made a choice. I wasn't going to walk away. I wasn't going to forget. If the truth was buried here, I would find it, no matter how deep it was. Because some stories don't end. They wait for someone brave enough to finish them. If you were in my place, would you stop here or keep going? Tell me in the comments, and if this story pulled you in, like and subscribe, because sometimes the truth doesn't disappear, it just hides until someone is ready to see it.